Still a little sticky on the bottom. I could probably let them set a little bit longer. You get the sweet, the salty, the texture of the popcorn, the crunch of the hardened chocolate on top. That is a sweet treat. It's a winner for sure. All right, I have the perfect sweet, salty, and crunchy snack for you that you can whip up in minutes and eat with absolutely no guilt. Today we're making Fit Foodie Chicks popcorn protein bars, and you only need a few ingredients. So the first thing you need, of course, for popcorn protein bars is popcorn. So you want 50 grams of air popped popcorn. So that's about 3 tablespoons of kernels. Air popped will give you about 50 grams popped popcorn. You're going to use a food processor, or if you don't have a food processor, a regular blender should work fine too. If you don't have a blender, throw it in a big Ziploc baggie and just smash it to smithereens, but we need to break this up a little bit. Okay, so now we're gonna make the filling. So we're gonna mix the popcorn with this filling. So we're gonna use 2 tablespoons of powdered peanut butter. So this is my favorite brand, but any brand will do. You just want powdered peanut butter, 2 tablespoons, and then we're gonna use 60 grams of your favorite protein powder. Any flavor really, but the flavors that I think go best with this are chocolate, obviously. If you have a caramel or a toffee protein powder, or even a vanilla will work just fine. Or peanut butter. If you have peanut butter, that would work too. So 60 grams of protein powder and 16 grams of the powdered peanut butter. There we go. Now, to this, we're just gonna add a tiny bit of water, maybe like a tablespoon at a time, and stir it until you get a nice thick but mixable consistency. Okay, I started with 3 tablespoons, and let's see what we get here. Definitely gonna need some more. But you can't take liquid out, so you wanna add it slowly until you get the right consistency. You can always add more. And different brands of protein powder are gonna require different amounts of liquid. So you're just gonna have to play around with what you have and see what works the best. All right, so we're getting there, but it's pretty thick. You want it to be thick, but also, actually that might be pretty good. You don't want it to stick too much to your spatula. All right, I think we're gonna go with that consistency. So now to this, you're going to dump in your processed popcorn. And it's okay if there's still some big chunks. You just wanted to break it up a little bit with that blender. Now take your time and stir this all together until all the popcorn is coated with that protein peanut butter mixture. And you know what? You might need to get messy and just get your fingers in there if you want it to go faster. It's kind of like making popcorn balls. Do you ever do that for Christmas or for Halloween? You know, we're so used to making Rice Krispie treats, but I saw someone make popcorn treats like this, and I thought, that was just genius. I definitely always have popcorn on hand. I don't always have Rice Krispie treats on hand. Okay, so that's pretty good. It's pretty coated, and it's all sticking together. Okay, so just make sure you get all that goodness in there. All right, now we just need to prepare the pan. All right, here's a little tip. So in order to make this easy, we line this pan with parchment paper, but sometimes it's hard to get your parchment paper to sit in the pan, right? So here's the trick. You take your piece of parchment paper, and you can see I've already done this, but you crumple it up, okay? Nice and tight little ball. And then spray your pan lightly with oil. That's gonna help the parchment paper stick to the pan. And then when you open this up and it's all wrinkled, it will actually stick into the form of the pan much easier. So now that we have that set, we are going to dump in our popcorn, peanut butter, protein mixture right in there. Now, here's another tricky part. You're gonna get it all in there, and then I want you to lightly wet your fingertips. You can start spreading it out with your spatula, but it's just gonna keep sticking. So to get it to spread out evenly, wet your fingertips, and using wet hands, press it evenly into the bottom of your pan. And then it doesn't stick. All right, so popcorn in the bottom of the pan. Wash your hands. Okay, next up, we're gonna melt 85 grams of no sugar added chocolate chips. I've got dark chocolate chips here from Lily's, but you can use milk chocolate or really white chocolate, whatever flavor you want, just 85 grams, no sugar added chocolate chips. And we're gonna melt those in the microwave in 20-second intervals, stirring every time, because you do not wanna over melt these or they will get clumpy. All right, so the first 20 seconds probably won't do a whole lot, but you still need to stir it. Bottom starts to get a little melted, so just stir it up. Make sure you get it all off the spatula before you put it back in for another 20 seconds. Stirring again. Getting there. It's starting to melt. It's still pretty solid. But again, you don't want to overdo it. So I'm going to do only 15 seconds this time and see where we end up. Probably good. Yep. Perfect. This is the consistency you want. So we can spread it all over the top. So that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna pour this out all over the popcorn and then spread it out. Spread it around before it melts, or before it hardens, I should say. It is already melted. So get some chocolate all over. Perfect. There's a couple spots that have a little more chocolate, so I'm gonna spread that out even more. All right, so we've got the chocolate on the top. And last but not least, in my opinion, is a little sprinkle of coarse sea salt on top. You can use flaky salt, sea salt, or no salt at all if you don't like the sweet and salty, but I love it. All right, and then these are going in the refrigerator for 1 to 2 hours before we cut them up. Okay, they've been chilled and they're all set. So we're just gonna pull these right out and cut them into 12 little bars. These sweet treats are only 83 calories, I believe, and 6 grams of protein. All right, moment of truth. Let's see how they taste. They're still a little sticky on the bottom. I could probably let them set a little bit longer. You get the sweet, the salty, the texture of the popcorn, the crunch of the hardened chocolate on top. That is a sweet treat. It's a winner for sure. Want this recipe and over 250 more just like it? Grab them all in our app with the monthly meal plan recipe subscription at fitfoodiechicks.com/food. And don't forget to grab your free Ultimate 10 ebook with our top 10 viral breakfast, lunch, treat, and snack recipes that broke the internet. Get it at fitfoodiechicks.com/ebook or in the link in our bio or the description of this video.